Hi guys, I'm Clinton. Welcome to another episode. In this episode, we are going to be looking at how to design your Facebook cover properly. If you're looking at the Facebook cover on a desktop PC versus your phone, the image gets cropped differently and it has different dimensions. So we just need to take that into consideration, and I'll just show you how to ensure that your image looks good in both ratios. Okay, let's get started. The next thing that we're going to need is a Facebook cover. So I've already designed a cover for our mock business, right? Simply Macron, and this is it. And I'm going to show you how I did this, but there's a few things to consider when you create a Facebook cover. The first thing is that, okay, firstly let's draw the dimensions for the cover. Your cover should be, let's draw the rectangle, right, with our rectangle tool, and set the width to 820 pixels and the height to 360 pixels. Okay, and that's the size that we're going to be working with. Now the thing with Facebook is, on the desktop, the size is 820 by 312, right? That's what's visible. So 820, I'm just going to resize this, right? 820 by 312. Okay, I'm just going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to select the two and align. Okay, so that's the desktop. Now the problem is that when the person views your Facebook page on their mobile, it resizes the Facebook cover to 640 by 360. So 640, I'm going to resize that by 360. Let me set that up. Okay, so now, so this is your desktop. Let's leave that black to give it a blue stroke, right? So black is your desktop, blue is your mobile, and anything in this area here, right, is your safe area. So for instance, I had a problem once with a cover that I created for passing it on. I'm just going to group this, and I'm going to place it over. So on the desktop it looked fine. It was a bit tight here at the top, but it was okay. I was able to reposition the image. So you see the full length on desktop, right? It worked out fine, but the problem is on mobile. It was cut off over here with the text, right? Because I could only see the blue area, and I was totally cut out of the Facebook cover on mobile. Now the problem is that most of your visitors are using their mobile phones. So it's important when you are doing your design to ensure that it fits in this safe zone. So all your text and stuff needs to fit within there. Okay. So for instance, if I take this and I bring it here, so it does cut off over there a bit, but I'm fine with that because you can't see the text. So you find the logo is in the safe zone, my text is in the safe zone. So whether it be in desktop or as mobile, I'm going to be safe. There's just a bit that's cut off here, but that's not too much of an issue. So let's, now that we understand how that works, let's go into creating this design. That's my color palette, right? You know, we're using that all the time. So rectangle tool, draw your rectangle, then you're gonna set the width to 820, set the height to 360, press enter. Okay, let's make the full transparent so we can see what's going on. Now let's import the picture. File, import, let's find that image, there's it there, import. Okay, it's really big. Let's click on zoom and fit. So I'm just going to resize this, hold the handle, drag while holding down control, bring it down to a size that's manageable, that you can see. That should be fine. Z to zoom, there you go. I'm just gonna zoom out a bit so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I've got that. Now I need to get this circle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on my circle tool. I'm gonna hold on control and create the circle. Right, and bring it up a bit so it looks even. I think that's fine. Then I'm going to select the image and the circle together, right click and set clip. Now you can't really see it, but it's got a circular edge on it. Okay, I see a bit of a problem. So I'm going to click here and I will make this purple. I'm going to click on the pick tool and select the color. Now the problem is that if you look here, my circle is not big enough. You can see that gap there. So I'm going to right click and release the clip. Right? So there we can see where the problem was over there. So let me make my circle bigger. Increase it. Okay, that looks right. Now, because I only want the curve over here, so now I'm gonna select that, the image. I'm going to select the circle, right click, set clip. There you go. Still not happy. Click. Let's align it first. I'll align it vertically. Select there. Set clip. Okay, there you go. So there's the curve, right? So I'm going to select this. Select the rectangle and align it left and align it vertically, or center it horizontally. Now you can see there's this blue stroke here which isn't there. So if you go to full length stroke and stroke style, you can see there's a width on your stroke, so you can actually decrease that until you no longer see it. So that's gone. Now let me show you how to get a gradient. So I'm just going to move this down a bit. So this is your gradient tool on your left. If you click on it, so if you click on it and you drag, you will create a gradient. So if I select this and I go to color picker, and I select this. So see, it changes the purple and then it fades to white. If I click here and I click the color picker, so you see that it fades from the lighter purple to the dark purple. In our case, it was actually the opposite way around. It was dark to light. So let's do that. Light there, dark there, light here. And then what you do is you can select the gradient and drag. So you can see the gradient change as I do that. Right, it's getting darker on the left. Now I'm going to take the image that we clipped and select the rectangle and align them. Align there, align there. Just going to resize it slightly. So I'm happy with it. Okay. Now let's bring in our logo. There's our white logo. Let's resize it. Whoops. So when you have the situation where you're trying to select one thing and it's selecting something else and it's moving, so what you can do is you can right click and lock the selection, and that will prevent it from moving. So you can see I can't drag it anymore. So anyway, so that makes life a bit easier. So I can click on this and move it around. Now I can add text. Let's go to our text tool. Ask about our personalized event macrons. Now I'm going to select and I'll click here. I'm going to align it to the right. Seeing as the space is a bit narrow, I'm going to select a condensed font like Impact, make it white, and take it there. So now that we have our basic design, we need to see if it's going to be okay based on our guide. Page up. Bring that over. Okay, so now we see there's a problem here and we need to resize accordingly. So select that, resize it, that should be okay. Select the text, resize that as well, and then we can select both and align to the right. Let's move it. Right, so there we have it. That's going to be right. Before you export it, you're going to have to right click and unlock this object. Then you select the whole thing. Just make sure that it's on selection and not custom. Right, so the whole thing is selected. Export as Facebook cover, save, and export, replace. And there is our Facebook cover already. That is your Facebook cover done. In the next episode, we are going to create a Facebook page. I'll see you then.